So, Mike, why are we sat in deck chairs?
We're sat in deck chairs. Do you know what? This takes me back to over 30, it can't be nearly 33 years now, when I actually used to sell deck chairs on Blackpool Prom.
Blackpool. Do you know what? I was probably there getting deck chairs from you, to be fair. Because as a family, we used to go to Blackpool when we were kids.
Were you one of those irritating families that came back year after year? You quite possibly were, weren't you then?
Possibly. Look, you know what? Do you know? But deck chairs are part of the heritage of the great British seaside, right?
Yeah, they are. We sell. Oh yeah, used to sell hundreds of them. Hundreds. At one point, I could carry 8, 400 each arm.
400 each arm.
Nip your skin a bit. Apart from that.
Right. But we're not here to talk about deck chairs.
I could talk deck chairs. In fact, there's ways you can put deck chairs up so you can't physically put them up. We used to do that to attract the women. Anyway, moving on.
But we're not
Sorry.
here to chat about deck chairs.
Yeah, moving on.
We're here as two grumpy old men.
Two grumpy old people, yes.
Two grumpy old men chatting about marketing. So, Mike, you have been in marketing probably since you were selling deck chairs. And what's the common theme that you've seen across those 3 decades?
3 decades. The first one's in black and white, going through to colour. It's about people not maximising opportunities and missing things and not really trying to tackle the right stuff in the right way at the right time, if that kind of makes sense.
So business owners do business owners even know that there's a problem?
I think with business owners, what they tend to do is they do what they've always known. They don't always take that step back and think, is it always right? It's kind of, we've always done the same old. So there's lots of ways that things need to change, but perhaps it's not on the top of their to-do list because they're too busy kind of firefighting and doing lots of other things.
But the issue for small business owners, right, that the lifeblood of them surviving is being able to market their business, being able to convert those leads, which ultimately brings cash into the business, which is the lifeblood of any business. But a majority of small businesses are not trained in marketing, right?
No, you tend to find that what they are, I suppose you could call them technician-owned businesses. So they start off knowing what they do, doing what they do really, really well. And then all of a sudden, when you start getting staff involved and everything else, other things come on, including the marketing word, which some people kind of fears with a bit of dread, because they know they kind of have to do it, but it's maybe not their key skill set. To be fair to them, they're good at what they're doing, and that's what they love to do. That's where the passion comes into it.
So the challenge for small business owners is they don't really understand or are not trained in marketing because they're a photographer or an accountant or a designer or a coach or whatever it might be.
I think a lot of this is about not necessarily them not wanting to do anything, but perhaps knowing how to go about it and where to start. They know they've got to do it, but it's sometimes a little bit maybe overwhelming as to how to really get this stuff started. If you've asked a printer what they recommend, they'll say, oh, you need print, you speak to they need social media, perhaps speak to a web developer, you need a website, graphic designer, and so on and so on. And they're all right, but it's how do you kind of tie all that together.
So if I'm a business owner that's wanting to take my business to the next level and I'm not a marketeer, I'm going to get all these bits of advice from different people that offer web or print or SEO or whatever, and that's almost a phrase I use, which is every hammer the problem's a nail, right? Yeah. But they're all right and they're all wrong. But you're overwhelmed as a business owner because you don't know which of these that you should invest your time, money and effort in.
I like it. It's like being a kid in a sweet shop. You kind of walk in there as a kid, and you'll remember this when you get paper bags full of sweets and all the really good stuff. You get all those kind of sweets and go, well, we'll have a bit of that. Oh, that looks really good. And no, we'll have some of that. And then all of a sudden you've got this big pile of sweets thinking, ooh, if I eat all that lot, I'm probably going to be a bit sick. So how do you then work through what's actually right for you? And I think that's the point where they go, oh, do you know what? I'll go and do something else instead for the minute, just because it's that I'm not sure where to start.
So this frustration of yours over many, many years around business owners either not knowing that there's a problem, not knowing where to start, not knowing who to talk to, and then they get busy, then they start recruiting teams, then the processes are not robust. So what have you seen? What's that led to?
Well, it leads to, you talk a lot about if you don't kind of plan ahead, you end up having that knee-jerk reaction. So it's like, okay, we better do some marketing, right? We'll try a bit of this and we'll see what sticks, kind of a bit spray and pray kind of thing, rather than having that planned approach, which you talk a lot about, or we collectively we look at this. If you don't do it now, it's kind of like lastminute.com effectively. So it's trying to get people to think about it in this process that actually, if you look at stuff logically, you can start to build that momentum, and it doesn't become that overwhelming thing that you'd rather go and tidy your desk or look at the paper clips.
And that's led to the development of the customer touchpoint program.
Exactly, yeah.
And that really is around helping customers identify A, that there's a problem in the first place, B, where that problem exists, and C, how they can correct that problem.
Yeah, we almost want people. The reason we did it is because sometimes you've got to take a step back, and go a little bit back to basics. We all do it. You do it for other businesses. We do it with other clients, and you take that step back because sometimes you need a different perspective on stuff, and what was right 6 months ago might have changed.
But under the surface, you were getting increasingly frustrated, and hence the kind of two grumpy old men chatting about this. But you were getting increasingly frustrated at the amount of business owners that either didn't know there was a problem, didn't know where to start, didn't know who to chat to, but were just sometimes burying their head in a bucket of sand, sometimes trying things that weren't working, and it was just this frustration of yours.
When you look at stuff and you can help them, and it's just, how can you put a systemized process in place to make people so it's not that, so it's quite a logical thing to do. And sometimes you've got to go back to basics a little bit to understand, what's right and what's wrong. And let's not forget, a lot of these people are doing stuff really, really well. So this isn't about throwing anything away that's naff or anything like that. It's a bit of a sanity check, see if it's right, and then turning the dial so it's actually becoming better. So it's never rubbish in anything that's been done. It's how can you improve it? And typically as business owners get busy, everything's done, but no one necessarily has a process on how to do things. So that's the other thing.
And look, we all experience bad service.
Yeah, absolutely.
Daily these days. It doesn't matter whether you're in a restaurant or a bar or public transport, whether you're looking at a new car or a phone contract or cable TV, whatever. We're all experiencing bad service, and that leaves a bad taste in our mouths, doesn't it? And that's what we're talking about fundamentally, is that none of those businesses set out to do something wrong or to upset or to kind of leave the wrong impression with the customer. So ultimately, it's either people not following process, or they're not trained, or a process that's not robust.
I think a lot of this is things get ingrained in people's heads on how they do a process. I'll go make a cup of. We should be getting ice creams. We could go make an ice cream.
Yeah.
I can make an ice cream. You can make an ice cream. We'll get an ice cream, but it might be different.
Yeah.
And it comes back to the old McDonald's thing, isn't it? It's you go to McDonald's, which I know as a performance athlete you really enjoy, but you're going to get a certain thing because it's done in a certain way. And once business owners get to a certain size, then it's really key that in our experience, that actually they have a process to follow and something that you can share with your team. And that's when you highlight at what point you engage with your customer and the touch points you have, where are they missing the tricks or where there's things to be done.
It's about consistency and repeatability.
Yeah, it is. It's about, and also it brings that element of scalability in it as well. And share with your team, and it's really interesting when you chat to people how they think something's being done and actually it isn't.
And that's the problem, isn't it? It's they think something's being done and it isn't, and that ultimately is impacting on the service that they are around delivering to it.
It is. It's that consistency piece. Consistency. It's Friday afternoon. I think this is this gin?
I think so. But Mike, talk to me as an uneducated person. What is a touch point? What's a customer touch point?
So a touch point is when you have an interaction with someone, whatever it might be. It could be a phone call, it could be you picking a leaflet up, networking event, picking a brochure up, greeting someone at the door, a receptionist call. It's that any point that you interact with your customer.
And if it's a brilliant one, you're going to buy from them, you're going to keep buying from them, you're going to refer them. And if it's not so brilliant...
Yeah, if it's not so brilliant, you'd probably tell more people it's not so good than you would do if it's good.
We do, don't we?
You do? Yeah, of course you do.
We like to moan as Brits.
We do moan. Oh, yeah. I wrote a blog about a shower tray that wasn't fitted properly. That was a great one to moan about.
But we love to moan.
Oh, we do.
In the UK, we love to moan. So if there's something not right, we moan about it.
Yeah, we do.
as a business owner, if you've got something to moan about me and my business, you're going to tell 10 of your mates.
Yeah.
And that's not doing me any favour.
No, no. I mean, look, at the end of the day, things sometimes always don't go right. But if you've got a process in place to sort it out, you can get so much more out of making a mistake, and how you deal with it and what you can do going forward.
So you've got an example that we were chatting about earlier today, which you want to share really, and it was a contractor.
Yeah, it was. We'd not going into specifics, but we're looking to have some work done at home, made an inquiry about it, and then next day a really nice welcome letter come through, a little bar of chocolate saying, take a break. It was a Kit Kat, so that was quite neat. Take a break, have a read of the literature, and then gotten into a really nice sequence of stuff being sent to us and things, but nothing pushy at all. It was just saying, look, we know there's other people out there, we can add value in a slightly different way. Don't compare an apple with a pear, that kind of thing. But it was never we're the best, we're going to do this, da-da-da-da-da. No pestering, no nothing. So it was a really quite nice, engaging piece that they did.
And that was leaving you with a warm, fuzzy feeling. And
yeah, absolutely.
Trust that they're the right kind of business that you want to
yeah.
spend your hard-earned cash.
Definitely, because they kind of given some thoughts to the process that were being done to, that had been sent out. I thought that was really good.
And this was some work on your roof at home?
Yeah, it was stuff done at home, yeah.
Right. And in contrast to that, I was chatting to a client recently who'd had some roofing work done at his home, and for whatever reason the roofing contractor had brought in a scaffolding contractor to put the scaffolding up. So they'd finished the roofing work, but they'd left the scaffolding up because later that day or the next day the scaffolding contractor was coming to take down the scaffolding. And this guy I was chatting to thought, you know what, I'm just gonna have a bit of a walk up there and have a look at the quality of the work that they've done. So he goes up on this scaffolding and gets up to the top of the roof. And the roofing work is absolutely spot on. But he noticed that his guttering was full of bits of felt and bits of wood and bits of, kind of concrete and, nails and
general crap.
It's absolutely full of crap. Yeah. And he's going, literally, it's all full of crap. And he said they've just left this mess behind. But because he couldn't see it from ground level, everything looked okay, right? So it's obviously cleaned all his crap out of his guttering, but he's thinking, that ain't right. No. And then he looks down and noticed that because they've been doing this work on his roof for 2 or 3 days, that all the kind of debris and the stuff off the roof, when it's been raining, all his windows are filthy. So it kind of got him thinking, right, they've left all of this stuff in my guttering, all my windows are filthy, I've got to get the window cleaner in to clean my windows. The scaffolding's all over the place, they've been all over his lawn and his flower bed and there's crap all over the floor, and he's saying, do you know what, they've done an okay job, they've not done a brilliant job. Wouldn't it have been good if they'd have cleaned the guttering, they'd have maybe even paid for a window cleaner to come in and clean the windows, got rid of the, and gone, there you go.
Yeah. They could have even gone, ta-da, as well. That would have been better, wouldn't it? But you're right, though. It's just those little things, isn't it? It just makes a difference.
So, he's not going to use them again.
No.
He's probably not going to refer them. He's certainly told me, and I'm telling everybody else about it. So, look, we're not naming names.
No.
But this is where business owners don't even realise it's a problem. Now, that might not be the business owner. It might be an employee. But somebody somewhere is either recruiting the wrong people, not training the people, or doesn't have a process that says, this is not acceptable.
I think I think process is a massive thing. It's huge, and unless you're forced to do it and put a process in place, usually by some ISO standard, will tell you've got to do this, and we all wait for that proverbial bus to come around the corner that is going to, it'll never happen to me. It'll never happen. Most business owners have got to have all the process in their head, and it's really key to get it out. Get it out there and just share it. And actually, it gives another great opportunity here, which is, in the past, we've done processes out, and you get all the team involved, and you'll be surprised how certain individuals will give you ideas that you've never thought about. People you wouldn't necessarily think are dragging them to a meeting, but they'll come up with a little nugget that you think, right. And it's just because they haven't seen it either, it's a new perspective. Sometimes you can get some real benefit out of doing this because it's really those different ideas.
I went to a talk 2 or 3 years ago, and it was the ex-marketing director, I think, of Green and Black Chocolate before they sold out. And they launched an Easter egg. And because it was a premium product, they didn't want this, they got this acetate kind of packaging around Easter eggs, and they didn't want that because it's a premium egg. So they basically got this. They got these Easter eggs launched, and they got to the supermarket, but because this packaging wasn't in place, all the eggs were breaking. Now there's two tales that came out of this for me. One is that they said that and I'm a massive advocate of Green and Blacks. I love Green and Blacks chocolate, and they were saying that all of the advocates of Green and Blacks chocolate were seeing the broken eggs on the supermarket shelf, and they were buying those eggs. So that people that weren't advocates wouldn't see the broken eggs and form the wrong impression about the eggs. Now, that's taking advocacy to the next level. And for 2 or 3 seasons, I tried to sort out this problem with broken eggs, and every year, broken eggs. And it was obviously a packaging and distribution problem. And there was 2 people that were responsible for the kind of design and the production and the marketing in the office chatting why this was a problem and that they couldn't find a solution. And this lady in accounts overheard them and said, just make the chocolate thicker. I went, what? I said, just make the chocolate thicker. What? She says, if you make the chocolate a bit thicker, it's less likely to break because it's thicker. And they went, oh, why didn't we think of that? And so what they did the next year, every so marginally, they made the chocolate a little bit thicker, no broken eggs. And that's because somebody that wasn't related to the process looked at it through a different set of eyes and went, make the chocolate thicker.
And we've all done it when people have come to us. I mean, we have mentors we know that works with us, and they say to when you go, oh yeah, you're right. At least sometimes it's bleeding obvious, isn't it?
But you know what? Another one that grates me, Mike, is car showrooms. like I don't get it, right? Now, I get that you might not have your touch points nailed on for a £5 egg or £1,000 set of, professional services. But we're talking here about spending 20, 30, 40, 50,000 pounds, £50,000 on a car maybe, and there's so much competition for all these car dealers. Why is it when you walk into a car dealership, the experience is underwhelming at best? I don't get it.
No, I get the same. I've had the same thing. Yeah.
I walked into a showroom, looking at a particular car, and it was a joint. There was 2 different brands in the showroom, and the guy from the other brand said, "Oh, is it you're looking at this car?" Yes. The guy's just on the phone at the moment. I'll go give him a nudge. He'll be down in 5 minutes. And I waited 25 minutes, no sight. And I'm thinking, this guy clearly doesn't want my business. I've got money to spend. So I walked out of the showroom, sat in my car, and I Googled that showroom, and I got the number up and I rang. And this guy answered the phone and he said, "Hi, can I help you?" And I said, no. I said, "Beg your pardon?" I said, "No, you can't help me." He says, "Why are you ringing?" I said, "I've just been stood in your showroom for 20 minutes. I've got money here to buy a car, and you didn't have the common courtesy to come out of your office and come down and ask if I needed any help. Do I need a coffee? I'll be with you in a few moments, sir." I said, "So clearly my business isn't important to you. I'm going to go elsewhere and spend my money." And that just left me with a really sour taste in my mouth. And I will never, ever go and buy from either that showroom, and it's a well-known, franchise, or I'd certainly think twice about buying that brand of car.
It does make you wonder, doesn't it? Because the perception is maybe, when you walk in there, that people don't treat you no matter what it is, but everyone should be treated the same because it's. But yet Claire, who just bought a new car recently, had an amazing experience. From buying the car right through to going off road with it, and there's flowers in the car and a box of this and a box of that and a key thing. So you got like chalk and cheese, haven't you? It's just
that's the difference, isn't it? I've got this experience, which is not a great one at all. Claire's got that experience, which is amazing. Next time I'm in the market for a new car, I'm probably going to go with the one that's going to give me an amazing experience.
I've had changed my car 12 months ago. I got a welcome text last week saying, "Congratulations, year anniversary of your car. Look forward to it. We're working on getting you a new one." I was like, right, that's neat. And the same day, I got a text from the car that I sold a year ago telling me my MOT was due. So it's just like, come on, it can't be that difficult sometimes. And maybe in case some of these things, is it overcomplicating stuff? Probably. Is it making it too complicated? So actually, the processes are so convoluted and there's so many systems involved that actually, I think a lot of this comes back to simplicity. Which is, again, is why we've done what we've done, because it's about say going back to basics, but keeping it simple. Why complicate stuff? Life's complicated enough as it is.
But the fact of the matter is, as consumers in either a business environment or a consumer environment, we're making choices every day about buying products and services. And if you're running a business and your touch points are not hitting the sweet spot every single day, at every opportunity, then you're gonna lose out on the opportunity to win new business, because they're going to choose somebody whose touch points are nailed on, who's giving welcome flowers and thank yous and
chockies and things.
And so you're gonna win more business. You're going to retain your existing customers because you're looking after them and loving them and showing them that you still love them. And you're gonna maximise the opportunity.
Yeah, but it's kind of keeping you front of mind as much as anything else. People don't make decisions every single day, but they're thinking about stuff. And if you're only contacting people when their renewals are coming up or whatever that might be, then maybe there's opportunities to do stuff before that, so that you're not just last minute to get things done.
Again, when I started out in business, Mike, I appointed an accountant, and a great accountant, very knowledgeable guy, and then he passed me over to one of the members of his team, and she looked after me admirably. And then literally 51 weeks later, I got a thanks for continuing to work with us, here's your invoice for the next year. Right, beg your pardon? So at no point have you as a business owner engaged with me for 51 weeks. So you're making an assumption that everything's okay. You've never spoken to me, you've not emailed me, you've not texted me, you've not anything. And you're making an assumption that I'm going to stick with you. And you know what? And I sent him an email saying, look, I think you're just being a little bit presumptuous. He literally rang me within 2 minutes. What do you mean? And I said, look, I am staying with you. I said, but does it not occur to you that you've not spent any time or effort staying in touch, adding value, checking that I'm all right? I could have had your competition all over me. And he said, do you know what, you did right, we need to do something about it.
Yeah, well, people's businesses change, especially now. How quick is stuff moving? We'll be sitting here on hoverdeck chairs soon. instead of ones that change colour. Yeah. But who knows? But the point is, stuff changes, doesn't it? So, what was current 6 months ago is different. Yeah. We looked 12 months ago. We didn't have a touchpoint program because we weren't thinking of how we could make something a bit different. So this is why we've done what we've done. But so if we're making changes, other businesses are going to make change, and it's another opportunity to kind of reevaluate where you are, even if daft things like. Do you know what really irritates me more than anything? Is when I see people's logos have been put on a page and they've done like the fit to window bit and they've squashed it and it's stretched it and squashed it and it's pixelated and it looks horrible. That really annoys me because I know it's a simple kind of fix in my world, but clearly in others it's maybe not priority. But it's those little kind of consistencies or inconsistencies that can kind of make a difference, and having the ability to sanity check where you are and everything. You might have decided to bring another colour in, another service. We put a little, you look at things like the BBC and stuff where they tweak the logo by putting a colour on it and pay loads of money for doing it. It's all little progressions, but then, on those kind of size of businesses, you've got to work out and say, if I'm going to change something here, it impacts on this, and this. From your invoice, from your business card to your purchase order, whatever it might be, all these little changes. And how many times we say, I'm going to go for a rebrand, I'm going to change this, I'm going to change the other. And it's like, well, hang on a minute.
It doesn't solve anything, does it?
Not really, no. It's kind of a bit of a bigger picture.
But isn't it not about doing the basics, Mike? Like, you can change your logo, you can change your strapline. It doesn't solve fundamentally that the brand that you're, because that's branding.
Yeah, it is, exactly.
The brand that you're leaving, the footprint that you're leaving in front of every customer, every contact, every prospect, every person in your network, every single day.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with your logo or your strapline. It's how you make them feel. Right?
It is. It's that whole touchy.
So it's a thank you for the referral. Yeah. It's a happy anniversary.
Yeah. It's just those little things that make you stand out a little bit from the crowd.
So we're going to continue to be two grumpy old men, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because we want to change the way that business owners engage with, build trust, add value, get noticed by,
Yeah, and
look after.
yeah, okay, yeah, and put some processes in place that make it easy for you. This is about making it easy for people. It's not trying to complicate stuff. It's giving you a process that actually you can follow easily at your pace, at your time, but you're in kind of control of what you're doing. That's the big thing about it. So yeah, we're on a mission.
So our plans are look, we're just playing with ideas here, but we've been talking about doing a podcast or a video series for a while, and we've got tons and tons of examples of brilliant customer touch points that really leave a wow and a warm fuzzy feeling inside.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And we've got some pretty shocking
Pretty
examples. We've covered a couple today, and so I think our plan is, Mike, to just run a regular video series, podcast series, talking about these touch points and giving examples of good ones and bad ones and the impact that they have, both positive and negative.
Yeah.
So we're gonna share this video with you today, and we want some feedback.
Yeah.
Someone's feedback.
Yeah.
Is this something that you think would be interested if we share our insights on the good and the bad and the ugly around customer touch points?
And the other benefit of doing it this way is I look the same height as Gary, so that's another big benefit of doing it this way as well. Got to get that in somewhere. Come on.
We can stretch it.
We can stretch. Yeah, someone else suggested that, but yeah, I'm not doing that.
Fab. So there you have it, guys.
And we're going to put the deck chairs away now.
You're going to be all right.
I'll carry two. I can just carry two now. It's fine. Yeah, I'm all good.
Fab. Thank you.
Cheers, guys. See you later. Bye.